And welcome to Ask the Experts here on Newstalk 1290 CJBK on this Saturday afternoon with our real estate expert, Joan from LePage, Triland Realty. You can call Joan at 519-672-9880. Visit the website joanball.com. And we welcome Joan to the program. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing so well. Just wonderful.
Awesome. That is so good to hear. We're going to get to what the market's doing these days and everything else. Got a lot of territory to explore. But has it been hectic and busy for you as an agent these days, Joan?
Very busy.
Yeah.
Very hectic. It's yes. It's been. This is when I always say, come March, I usually put my running shoes on. Well, come April, I started putting my turbo booster shoes on.
Really?
Badly needed. Yes.
Wow. And I know because we've talked a lot about it over the last couple of years. I mean, there's been a frenzy, not only in this market, but across the country. But even going before the pandemic, is this the time of year where you would always ramp up and get into your busy season?
Yeah, we do tend to see that our busy season in preparation is usually January, February. March, April, and May tend to be the highest activity months for new listings coming on board, and obviously buyers getting satisfied with finding the product. And this year is no exception. We're really finding a significant number of properties starting to come onto the board, and that's impacting on some properties who are who are listing, some agents that are listing properties, and some sellers perhaps coming to offer day, maybe not getting an offer or not getting the offer they want. So I'm certainly seeing a shift in the ratio between the number of active listings coming on board and in a given day or even 7-day period, and then from there the number of sales. We're still seeing a lot of sales, but we're seeing it. The number of active listings coming onto the market exceeding almost by 50% the number of sales. And we haven't been in that scenario for quite some time. So, it really is imperative to price the property accurately, make sure the marketing is all lined up before it goes on the market. And we are certainly seeing multiple offers, and that's what I've experienced lately with my listings, but there are some that are, I think, overshooting the market perhaps, and not getting the response that they necessarily want.
Well, I think maybe, Joan, you're proving your own point when you say that to accurately price the home accordingly, but then that you are still experiencing the multiple offers, and that would probably go back to proper pricing.
Yeah, it's really the luxury for the sellers has been in the past year, perhaps, that they could, price it a little bit above where it's justified as far as the market,
right.
And and that doesn't hurt them. Now it's really the accuracy. It's demanding the accuracy in the list price, and that's what is recruiting the response that I think many of the sellers might want.
It's amazing. It doesn't take long for things to shift a little bit in your industry, does it?
Yeah, I always say it's like a tap being turned on. It just depends on how fast the water gets flowing, and this market is certainly recognizing. I think a lot of people are trying to capitalize on the market before it shifts anymore, and the interest rates have certainly had an impact. I think we're headed for some more interest rates down the road, another hike. So that will certainly have an impact. There's so many factors that play into a real estate economy and what influences. However, I will say that locally we're recognizing some significant push from the city. If you look at what's going on as far as the new companies coming to town, Amazon, for example, 2,000 jobs. Medicom Group, which has just been announced, they're going to be bringing 145 jobs, and they produce medical equipment, masks, gloves, that kind of thing. And then we've also got the announcement with Workmen's Compensation, CSIB, is bringing their head office to London. So that's going to provide another push for jobs to come here. So I don't think London is going to see a significant shift, but certainly it does insist you pull up your pants and look at how we're presenting the properties when they go on the market, and being realistic with the prices, and then letting the market bear what the market will bear in the response and offers.
Our real estate expert, Joan Ball, with us from Royal LePage, Triland Realty. You could reach Joan at 519-672-9880, 519-672-9880. Have the interest rate increases been top of mind discussion with some of the clients that you've been working with these days, Joan, or do they still see it as somewhat minimal? And I'll go back to 2 weeks ago too. I think the figure you said, $500,000 mortgage, if I've got this correct, $500,000 mortgage would increase by your mortgage payment on average by around $180 with the increase that we've recently seen.
Yeah, that's where we are right now. And
Okay.
Surprisingly enough, I haven't had clients indicate overly that they're overly concerned about this. So it's one of those that it eventually will have a huge impact, but I haven't had my clients certainly even bring it up,
Right.
quite
Wow.
honestly. So I think there's some individuals that might, if they're first-time home buyers and they're really cut to the wire kind of thing. I will say that the properties that are under, I'll say, 700,
Okay.
there's many more buyers in that market than perhaps the product over. But anything over $1 million, there's lots to choose from right now. There's lots of really, really good quality selection. Not that there aren't under 700, but, there's a lot more to choose from that price range over $1 million than we've ever seen. And part of that is prices have increased. So there's obviously more properties over $1 million now. And I do remember, and I've been in the business that long, where I remember the first property that sold for over $1 million in London.
Roughly how many years?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
But
I hear you. Yeah. Oh, and now it seems, and I'm one of those people too, Joan, that I go on MLS almost every day. Just, I don't know, I'm addicted. Just a habit or whatever, curiosity more than anything. But it is incredible the amount that are over $1 million now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, really, our average has crept up there, and we're well over 800 for our average now. So, when you get up around that, I mean, I remember it wasn't that long ago where our average was mid 200s, so we have seen a steady climb, and London has been such a draw for so many people. We're certainly attracting a lot of out-of-towners, and the investors, to some degree, once the prices creep up, don't see it as favorable. But I think that we're in for a busy spring.
Joan Ball on Ask the Experts here on Newstalk 1290 CJBK from Royal LePage, Triland Realty, joanball.com, the website address, and the phone number 519-672-9880. After the break, come back, and Joan has a beautiful home that we will feature that is listed right now here on Ask the Experts on Newstalk 1290 right after these. And welcome back to Ask the Experts with our real estate expert, long time real estate expert, Joan Ball from Royal LePage, Triland Realty. If you'd like to talk to Joan, maybe you're thinking of buying or selling, 519-672-9880. Would it be too late if somebody thought they wanted to sell their home in time for the summer months, Joan? Is that kind of missing the boat at this point? Or is this
No, not at all.
no?
Certainly, I have clients where I scoot in and we do, we sort of prep the house over the weekend and we're ready to rock and roll.
Mm.
So, it really depends on what stage they're at as far as preparation or knowing where they want to go or identifying and that kind of thing. So everybody's different.
Yep.
No, it's all we're sort of one-stop shopping and I can fit within anybody's schedule. Some people want to take it a little slower. Some people want to get gone. And we can have some active staging take place, or we can make the recommendations and they can do it themselves. It's really up to them.
Excellent. And get the ball rolling. If you would like to be in that category and talk to Joan, it's easy to do. 519-672-9880. I'm guessing, Joan, you're going to have a lot of activity surrounding your listing, Adelaide Street North. Tell us about it. It looks beautiful.
So it's Unit 62 at 1478 Adelaide Street North. This is a wonderful complex just south of Fanshawe Park Road and just north of Tennant. So it's listed for $499.9. It's a one-floor condo, single-car garage, beautifully appointed inside, 10-foot ceilings, hardwood floors, French door access to the kitchen. It has main floor laundry accommodation, eat-in kitchen, 2 patios, a gas fireplace, finished basement, 3 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms, and it is in a really well managed complex, fabulous neighbors, and it's nestled in the back of the complex. So as much as you're on Adelaide, you're back away from traffic quite a bit. And it really is ideal, and we're going to be taking offers on Sunday. If anybody has any interest, please give me a shout, and I'll get you through.
Awesome. So you can check out that listing, joanball.com, and click on My Listings. And yeah, that I can't believe the price, Jonah. That seems too good to be true. I look forward to finding out what it goes for, because that's beautiful. People are going to want to take advantage of that.
Well,
Amazing.
I do think this is one of those opportunities that comes up. It's a very well maintained. It's absolutely pristine inside. It's been very well maintained. The hardwood floors and the countertops are as good as the day they were installed. They are absolutely spotless. The 10-foot ceilings offer such a nice feel. It has transom windows in the living room that face east, nice and bright. And I think this will be, and one of the bedrooms obviously has an ensuite and then full family room downstairs, tons of storage, cold storage, and another full bathroom on that level as well.
Wow. That looks like one of the homes, Joan, that you just walk into and you go right away, oh, these people take great care of their stuff.
Absolutely. And the condo fees there are quite reasonable at $330 a month. And that takes care of all the exterior envelope and the snow removal, the ground maintenance, all of that stuff. And, it's really, when you find a property like this, it's a great opportunity for somebody who's empty nester, young couple. It really offers a lot for everybody.
Good stuff. JoanBall.com is where you can find that. Click under My Listings and you'll see what we're talking about. Joan Ball here on Ask the Experts on Newstalk 1290 CJBK, JoanBall.com, and the phone number 519-672-9880. I want to go back to something you said earlier, Joan. I don't know if I've heard the term before. I think it was what I heard, active staging.
Active staging. So that is really where I bring in my stager to, and I use Trish Mooring from Beyond the Eye, and she has knickknacks and features and accessories and bedding and all of this stuff. So if people say to me, I really I need somebody to do this for me. It's an estate sale, or it's something where it's a vacant property, or it just needs some enhancements, then she will provide the all the stuff to make it look absolutely gorgeous. The artwork, some of the lamps perhaps, pillows, cushions, all of that stuff. so that individuals can just turn that property up a notch and increase the attraction and the visuals of the property. The photographs, everybody really is quite visual in many ways when they're shopping, and they want to see something that's attractive, and that gets them in the door. And my job is to get them in the door, and hopefully all the other aspects line up and become of interest for an individual buyer.
And so when your stager comes in, Joan, and they bring in the items that you're talking about, I'm guessing, because if I've seen homes online, some that you think, okay, they're staged, they just look so beautiful, and they've got, we may have nice stuff, but it's old in our homes, that type of thing, and it may be well taken care of, but it's old. They bring in these new items and contemporary and items of the times that we're in that just brings it up another level.
It does. And, in many ways in the past, we have certainly, and we still continue to use the items that individual may have.
Okay.
However, depending on their decor and their needs and wants, we can meet them wherever they want. If they want to use only their stuff and they want us to present their stuff in the best light, we will do that. If they want to clear away some of their stuff and make it more contemporary, as you've indicated, then we can do that. So, it really is one size fits all, because we can now accommodate them at whatever their needs are in whatever stage they're at.
And what are your thoughts, Joan, on, say it is an estate sale or something like that, and whoever's taking care of that, they've had to get rid of everything out of their homes. Your thoughts on having nothing in the home when it is for sale, as opposed to having it professionally staged?
Well, this is an interesting one because it has actually been researched, and it's really important to know. I usually say to people, if it is an estate sale, why don't you leave some of your belongings here, some of your furnishings here, and let's see what we can use, and then we can go from there. Because a vacant house will traditionally sell for less than a furnished house. Now, in this market, we've seen over the last 2 years the market just go crazy, and perhaps it didn't matter. We are starting to see a shift in the market. So this is where it does matter, in my opinion, in many cases. Having furnishings in there so individuals can see the representation of an individual room is vital, because people are visual. And I'll give you an example. Years ago, I certainly made this comment on Ask the Experts and have held to it, is I have buyers who I will show individual properties to. They'll buy that house, and I'll go back weeks or months later, and they will have placed the furnishings in the exact same place as the previous owner. And in many cases, if I have Gloria at the time, and now Trish, into stage, or to do it after move-in sort of consultation to help them hang art and look at placement of furniture and that kind of thing, they'll come back to me and say, I never had any idea I could have placed the furniture in that position. I just couldn't see it. And so the design eye is really interesting, and I think it warrants consultation before, or, certainly when you're putting the property on the market, but certainly that's available once you move into your new house.
Awesome. And I love that, how the human mind works too. That's amazing. Joan Ball here on Ask the Experts on Newstalk 1290. CJBK, our real estate expert from Royal LePage, Triland Realty. JoanBall.com, the website address, and the phone number 519-672-9880. Back with more on Ask the Experts after these. Joan Ball with us here on Ask the Experts on Newstalk 1290, CJBK, Royal LePage, Triland Realty. Quick details one more time, Joan, Adelaide North.
Yes, wonderful one-floor condo, $499.9, 2 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 10-foot ceilings, single-car garage, 2 patios, gas fireplace, finished basement, ensuite, off the master, main floor laundry accommodation. So it offers a lot. Condo fees are $330 a month, and it's a very well run complex and fabulous neighbors.
2 patios, my goodness.
2 patios.
Wow,
Yep.
yeah.
There's a sitting patio off the kitchen, and then there's a larger entertaining patio, I'll call it, off the living room and dining room area.
Good stuff. And our listeners can go to the website right now, joanball.com, and click on My Listings. Got a question here from Bob. I do want to get this one out of the way. If your expert could help identify what the one thing that is helping to sell properties in this market that would help us, as we will be putting our house up for sale shortly, from Bob.
If I was to say one thing, it would be price it accurately. Don't overshoot the market and don't underprice yourself. This market is really demanding the exposure. Obviously, I'm a firm believer in clearing the clutter and preparing your house before it goes on the market. And but really, it gets down to the accuracy and the list price and ensuring that you're attracting the buyers, but you're not underselling yourself.
Okay. And if you don't mind too, Joan, commenting on, I know the Real Estate Council of Ontario, or RECO, they've got changes coming up in the future?
They do. They have made an announcement, and I've had a number of questions about this in the open bidding process, and it will not come into effect until April 2023. It's interesting that they didn't start this a couple of years ago. I do see some political posturing here, perhaps, in offering this. But there's a number of issues around it that still have to be ironed out, because one of the things in the present market is we cannot disclose any particulars around pricing without everyone's permission, and that's not even allowed at this point. So buyers would have to decide if they want to buy into that process. It would probably be put into the listing agreement that that's how it's being offered. And if a buyer did not want their offer disclosed, they would have to choose perhaps to not even offer on that house. So there's some issues that have to be ironed out around that, in my opinion. And but it doesn't take effect regardless until April 2023, and I'll keep everybody abreast of the changes as they unfold.
Good stuff. And that has been sort of one topic that a lot of people have had some concerns about over the last couple of years too, isn't it?
It has, and London's a smaller market, and I always equate it to last year, for example, I was looking at properties for a buyer out in the Lambeth area, and we were very specifically in a price range, and we were bidding against the same buyers over and over again, because as each new one came up in Lambeth, we'd all be going back to the plate, and the difficulty is, if you're a small enough group and you know who you're bidding against, then it gives you an inside edge to know how they're strategizing. And is that a even playing field? So we have to come up with something that works for everyone and doesn't impact negatively on one party over another.
Joan Ball will work for you. All you have to do is pick up the phone, 519-672-9880. Joan Ball, real estate expert here on Ask the Experts from Royal LePage, Triland Realty. JoanBall.com, the website address. And Joan, I know you're busy, and you've once again, however, provided some great information for our listeners. We all appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll let you go and continue on with your day. We will talk again in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, Ryan. Take care.
Thank you. Joan Ball here on Ask the Experts, Royal LePage, Triland Realty, 672-9880. JoanBall.com is the website address.